Hello, guys. Wait again. Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome back to this new live streaming. As always, as always, all Tuesdays. Wait, my hair. Okay. We are about to rewatch episode 9 of the final season of Shingeki no Kyojin. Of course, you all know that the second part is coming the 9th of January. But before the 9th of January, we are about to rewatch the first part 1 of this final season, in order to see if I'm going to change my mind, if I'm going to develop new theories regarding this part 2, and things like this. So feel free to follow me and let's discuss it together. If you have some questions, feel free to ask me in the chat box right now. Otherwise, just stay tuned and keep on watching me, because let's see what I can think this time by following this episode 9. Last week we were getting in touch with the end of Sasha, that means Sasha's death, and recently I didn't develop any other theory because it depends what's the episode in particular. But last week we were discussing about these taking position. I mean, the fact that we usually decide to take a side, and if it's good, if it's not good, and things like this. Let's see what's going to happen with this episode. Are you ready to join me with this? Yeah, check it out now. Let's see what's going to happen today. Let's start. Oh.
君はこんなことを聞かされても困ると思うけど、聞いてほしいんだ。3年前のあの時、あの時ならまだ何かを変えられたかもしれない。
I was really happy about this.
先遣隊が上陸して2時間、音沙汰なしです。
第2、第3調査隊に準備を急がせろ。
はあ。
戦士隊を打ち負かし、世界を脅かす悪魔の島。
Okay, wait a second. That I wanted to check if you can hear me, because now I'm always afraid that you can't. Wait a second, just a few seconds. Okay. Yeah, you can hear me. Fine. Let's go ahead.
何としてでもその実態を周りに持ち帰るのだ。
Yeah, I was really happy to see this flashback. I mean, what happened in between, it was really interesting, because at this point we could understand everything behind the Z-Explain and things like this. Otherwise, it was really problematic. Yeah, when Eren is raising the sheep, it reminds me of Kuruga.
私はハンジ。はるばる海を渡っていらしたお客様をお迎えするものです。
Hanji, we love you. I mean, I love you.
楽しんでいってください。ちなみに、お一足お先にお越しのお連れ様のお客様とはすでに仲良しです。だよね、ニコロ君。隊長、私に構わずこの悪魔の。
I want to see what's going to happen to Niccolo too.
何を言い出すんだ、ニコロ君。
お前の三文芝居に付き合う気はねえって。ニコロ、よく聞け悪魔ども。マーレは汚れた血にかす耳など持ち合わせていない。汚れた連中と豚の小便をすするような真似はしない。
いいのかな、そんな悪口言って。後ろの巨人が見えない。
See, Hanji, it's like Sasha. It was so important for this story to have some ironic parts, comic parts. Mm.
何の丸投げだ。
武器を捨てるんだ。
お前ら言う通りに。
ハンジさん、 お招きいただき光栄です。お茶しましょう。
Look, even
会いたかった
here.
よ。エレン。
I really want to see what's going to happen to Niccolo, but also to Yelena, because in the trailer we see that Yelena is, let's say, worshipping, or she's like, she's saying like, "Go Zeppelin, go!" or something like this. Let's see. Let's see. I'm pretty curious about this because I want to see if Niccolo is about to survive, for example. Oh, what about the opening, guys? This would be really interesting. Can you imagine if the same opening is starting over again? No, I don't think so. I think they will change definitely the opening, but who's going to make the opening? We still don't know this. But I think it would be fair to have no, maybe no. No. Let's see. Yeah. Breed volunteers.
仲間を撃ち殺しやがったぞ。一体何が目的なんだ。
And when we reached this point, when Yelena was explaining everything, we will give you some help and things like this, we would have never imagined that the real plan was something else. This is mind-blowing. That till the end you don't really understand what's the real thing.
なるほど。こうやって何発も撃てるわけか。それらがマーレ兵の基本装備です。マーレ兵は一団あたり約2万人で構成され、
Okay, at least she was honest because she was explaining in details
それら陸軍に加え
the real numbers, but
からなる3つの艦隊、その他新兵器の進歩も目覚ましく、航空戦力にも力を注いでいます。航空
Oh, let me tell you, I really like the relationship between Levi and Hanji.
敵が空から現れる移動兵器のことです。
空から来るの
In some moments, I also thought that she liked Levi,
様が少なくとも
especially in previous
ま
seasons.
ともに全て来なかった理由って何？主に理由は2つ。一つは島に放った無垢の巨人が最新鋭の兵器をもってしても未だ上陸困難な障害であること。マーレがエルディア人を壁の中に幽閉するための政策でしたが、逆に進軍からエルディアを守る存在となっていたのです。
らしいな。そいつは笑える。
しかし、もうすぐ夜が明け、巨人が活動する頃ですよね。今我々が壁の外でのんびりお茶できるということは、
Yeah.
島の巨人をすべて殺してしまったということでしょうか。
だったらどうする？なんとかしてマーレに伝えるか。
いや、素晴らしい。期待以上だ。二つ目の理由は、
Yeah, because nobody expected that they were so great in Paradise. This makes you understand that they have lots of prejudices against Paradise because they always think, oh, they are not skilled, blah, blah, blah. No, they are.
マーレは敵の多い国ですので、諸外国は瞬く間に団結し、戦争の火蓋が切られたのです。するとあなた方はマーレに恨みを持つ亡国の民であり、マーレ軍に潜入する諜報員のようなものなのかな。お、当たり？やっぱりマーレに背くからにはそれなりの動機と後ろ盾がないとね。情報などと呼べるような代物ではありません。 マーレに故郷を奪われ、兵士として徴用された我々はとても悲劇で、
Mhm.
あの大国に抗う気概は失われつつありました。彼に導かれるまでは、マーレや世界の人々が悪魔と呼んで恐れる巨人、私には全く別のものに見えた。神です。無力な私たちに希望を見せてくれました。
Oh, no way. No, no.
私たちはジーク・イエーガーの命を受け上官を撃った反マーレ義勇兵です。その目的は全エルディア人の解放。ジーク・イエーガーの要求は以上です。すべては生存が危ぶまれ、
Well, Eren with these long hair,
そんなバカな
he
話
seems
相手は
gaudy.
獣の巨人だぞ。長穂村の村民を巨人に変え、壁内を恐怖に陥れ、調査兵団を壊滅寸前まで殺戮した張本人がそう抜かしたのか。
Oh, but let me tell you one thing. Just a second. Before Zeke arrived, they almost had the same opinion in Paradise. I mean, they were ready to understand what was after the ocean, beyond the ocean. But once Yelena, Zeke, and all the others arrived in Paradise, everything turned into a huge mess. Nobody was agreeing with other people anymore. They were always fighting. They were always one against the other one. So these stillness was interrupted by Zeke and all Zeke's followers. Should I call them the Zekers as much as we call the Jaegerists, the followers of Eren? Should I say the Zekers versus the Jaegerists? But anyway, yeah, I think that thanks or because of this arrival, everything in Paradise changed and it was turned upside down in all different ways. But absolutely, I think that Zeke created lots of problems. And of course, nobody knew what was his real intention.
関して始祖の巨人の奪還。
I mean, we don't see Paradise as before. We see a new Paradise. Because we were always used to see that they were all going on with the same purpose, that they were all wishing the same things, but actually, it was not. Actually, they were all fighting for different things in this part one, and we see how everybody is separating. So the Zekist, the Zekerist, I mean the people who are following Zeke plus Zeke, ruined everything that happened in Paradise till that moment.
がダメなら口八丁手八丁尽くせと言わんばかりだ。それは敵さんも承知のはず。まずは団長殿の話を聞こうではないか。
ジーク曰く、エルディア人の問題を一挙に解決する秘策があると。その秘策を行う条件として必要なものが、始祖の巨人と王家の血を引く巨人。二つが揃えば世界は救われる。ただし、その秘策を明かせるのは、条件が揃ってからだ。
引くに大変。随分と引く。
I like
それは本当です。
yeah.
思い出したんです。俺が一度だけ始祖の巨人の力を発動させることができたのは、王家の血を引く巨人と接触した瞬間でした。
Yes,
その
season
巨人は
2.
父の妻であったダイナ・フリッツに違いありません。ダイナの息子であるジークは解明したのでしょう。不戦のちぎりを出し抜く術を。
我々エルディア人に残された唯一の希望。壁に潜む幾千万もの巨人で世界を踏み潰す地ならしの発動条件を。
Mhm.
お前、どうして今までそんなことを黙っていやがった。
Yeah, in this case, what Levi says,
俺の不確かな情報で巨人に
yes, what Levi says is totally true, but I understand even why Eren didn't want to spread these things, because he didn't want to put in danger Historia. But at the same time, if we check on from Levi's perspective, come on, if you told us before, maybe everything would have gone on in a different way. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, what Levi is saying is, if you could have told us in advance all this could have been different. And yeah.
するわけにはいかないと思っていました。警察の判断であったことを認めます。後でじっくり聞こう。しかし、それが
We'll talk about it later.
ジークの秘策にも筋が通る。
正気か？連中を信用する気か？そうだ。敵兵を大勢島に止めておけば。
See, now we are starting having different opinion.
いえ、そうもいきません。マーレの調査船からこの島を守るためには、義勇兵の力が必要なのです。彼女らの無線通信がなければ。
こちら、第二次調査船だ。
よかった。船が破損して。ずっと助けを待ってた。
すぐに向かう。あの家なら、我々の規模か。安心しろ。2隻の調査船で向かっている。おーい！無事か？もう大丈夫だぞ！情報がないより、どうして？
Oh, but let me say one thing. Okay, now of course everything is seen from Armin's perspective, because Armin is narrating his own opinion to Annie. I mean, all what we are all watching is what Armin is telling Annie, actually. But let me tell you, I think that even Armin was a little bit incoherent in this, because he was, while during this attack in Liberio, even if it's happening later, he is saying, is this what you have always seen, Bertold? Do you remember? And he was pretty against it. I mean, he didn't like this idea. But at the same time, in scenes like these, when he's appearing and he's destroying lots of ships and things like this, he's agreeing with what he's doing. I mean, he's crashing lots of ships and he's making many people dying. So I think that even Armin sometimes was a little bit incoherent throughout all this story, especially in this final season, because usually Armin was pretty coherent with his thoughts. But actually, when he was saying, let's find a dialogue, yeah, let's find a dialogue, okay, later, but you also killed lots of people, Armin, so to say that you want to find a dialogue, but then at the same time when these ships were coming and you decided to transform into the colossal titan anyway, you wanted to kill these people, so I find it a little bit incoherent, just a little bit, even if I love Armin. I think he has great poses, but you're gonna love it.
上陸許可は下りない。悪いが泳いで帰ってくる。
あの頃は楽しかった。
Hey, it was fun back then.
確かに僕たちエルディア人は 世界から恐れられ、憎まれている。
Yeah, I know he is
まだ
developing
顔も
his
知らない
consciousness,
海の
but
向こうにいる人たちから。でも海の向こうにいる人たちは敵だけじゃなかった。そして世界はずっと複雑で知ら
what is Armin's proposal here? I mean, okay, I have the idea that he loves Annie, and after all that happened, the only person who didn't say anything, who was just like a wall, and Armin was just spilling out everything that was wrong, everything that happened for 3 years, and finally he found somebody that he wanted, that he could listen to him. Okay, I don't understand. Is it because of this? I mean, is it because Armin decided to spill out everything to Annie because he wanted to change her mind once she will be released? Or is it because he needed somebody else to hear him? And in this case, the only person who was totally from a totally different world and could have listened to him in a different way, maybe it was Annie. I really don't get why Armin wants to talk to her sincerely. I have this feeling. I mean, I have my personal opinion that, of course, is that uh, he has always liked her, and he has always wanted to create this great relationship with her because she was a little bit different from others, as much as he is different from the usual soldiers we see. He has great skills, and even Annie has great skills, so they have things in common. But at the same time, I think, yeah, he is developing a sort of feelings for her, and we saw it through episode 1. I already explained you what I feel about this relationship between Annie and Armin. But yeah, in this moment when everything is collapsing, everything is over, as we have always seen. In fact, the paradise is changing a lot, and we are reaching the rumbling. But the only person he wanted to talk to was Annie. It means that Annie is incredibly important to Armin. I don't think that he wanted to share these thoughts with others if these others were not important to him. So I think that no matter what happened in season 1, I think Armin still think that Annie was part of them somehow, as much as when Eren didn't even realize, or he couldn't believe that Reiner and Bertold were traitors. So I think that even Armin still thinks of Annie as a part of him, a part of this team that happened in season 1. So that's why he wants to interact with her, but also because she is confined inside this cocoon for so many years, and she's still there. um, we are still waiting the moment in which she will be released, and um, to see her reaction first, what she's going to say, if she's going to change her mind, if after all that Armin told her, because I think that she can hear him, even if she can't move or she can't show him that she understood, she can listen to him. So I'm wondering what her reaction will be. I don't know if she will react by punching him or by punching everyone, or by just trying to listen to what other people have to say. But in this case, Eren, I don't know if he really wants to give her a chance. I mean, she's a Titan owner, and time is up to create the rumbling, and I still wonder, does he collect all of them? I mean, is he going to eat all of them in order to reach this ability to reach Ymir? Or can he reach Ymir without eating everyone? Because the only Titan missing right now are Annie, Reiner, Galliard, Peak, and of course Zeke. That is the last one. But is he going to accumulate, I mean, to englobe everyone before reaching the final stage? That means the ability to meet Ymir, or the ability to share this power with Zeke and create something even bigger than what we expect. This is the only thing I still have a question mark. How, okay, in order to release Annie, we know that we need a Galliard. We need the Joe Titan. So maybe Galliard will be eaten. So Eren will be able to gain this ability to the nutcracker ability to release Annie. But what is he about to do? I mean, he will release Annie for sure, but at the same time, will he eat her or not? Because if he is going to eat her, he has to go against Armin. Because if I follow my initial thoughts, of course, if Armin loves Annie, Eren is in a difficult position, because is he going against his best friends for real? By doing this, I think that he will. I mean, if Eren is going to eat Annie, for example, he will go against Armin directly. So, is he going to do it for real or not? Is he going to protect Annie at this point? So he will not go against Armin, actually. And Armin will definitely understand that Eren actually is acting, and he is not, he is pretending to be someone, but he is not. This is something crazy. This is something that we needed to understand, because Eren is in front of a hard decisions to make. If he has to eat all of them, if he has to eat all Titans, there is this huge problem. That means, should I kill the lover of my best friend? This is hard. This is really, really hard.
いらないことだらけだった。ところで、おにゃんぽこんはなんで肌が黒いのですか？
俺たちを作ったやつはこう考えた。いろんなやつがいた方が面白いってな。君たちユミルの民も同じさ。俺たちは求められたから存在する。
誰が僕らを作ったの？
始祖ユミルに力を与えた存在。神だよ。
Oh, look. No. This is... okay, I wanted to remark this after watching 16 episodes. And after watching all seasons, actually. Onyankopon is asked, who created us? I mean, Armin is direct, and he is always making the point. I mean, he is asking perfect questions. But this question is crazy. I mean, who invented us? Who created us? Great, this is a nice question. But the answer from Onyankopon is even crazier, okay? Because he's saying the one, I mean, who's creating us? Who created us? The one who gave Ymir power. God. And this goes back to my initial question when I started rewatching this part 1. Because Onyankopon is saying here that God gave Ymir the power she had. Okay? Wow. What does this mean? What does this mean? Because I don't know at this point. No, wait. Because it depends on which version of the story we're following. Because if we follow the story in which we were told that Ymir was getting in touch with a demon or an entity that was able to give her the power she had, this is antithetical with what Onyankopon is saying about Ymir here. If we are following the other version in which Ymir had this great power, blah, 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 okay, this could make sense, but my wondering is how Ymir got in touch with that power. Because she was not born with that power. I think she was getting in touch with something, or she was getting in touch with this entity, this thing that could give her the power she had later. So I'm curious to see if in part 2 they are going to, thanks to the flashback of Ymir, because we saw it from the trailers, from the key visuals and things like this, we understand that we are about to see Ymir's background story. So I hope that they are going to show us what got in touch with Ymir at that moment when she could gain this immense power that she got. But here Onyankopon is saying something that I don't understand. He's saying that God gave Ymir this power she had. Does that mean that Ymir was born with this power? I mean, since she was born, she had this power? I don't think so. I think she got in touch with this power after she was born. I don't know. This is interesting too. I have never, how can I say? I've never talked about this before. I skipped this moment for a second, and I think it was wrong. I should have read it, or I should have listened it before to this sentence, because this is something that I don't understand.
そう考えるやつもいる。考えるだけなら自由だろ。
Yeah. Okay. Are we free to think what we want? Not so much, Onyankopon. Not so much.
海の幸は初めてですか？ニコロはマーレ料理の達人なんですよ。
やだ、来るなよ、エルゲージ。お前らなんかに食わせてやる。
Oh, Sasha here, she's like a titan when they were killing lots of their comrades. Let me tell you.
ニコロさん、あなたは天才だぞ。
汚ね食い方しやがって。
Sasha.
食え。
See? Okay. This was so good to watch, okay? In this scene, you clearly understand that Sasha is not falling in love with Niccolo, but she falls in love with the food prepared by Niccolo. It's different. While Niccolo, he is feeling already embarrassed, or he has this emotional reaction thanks to Sasha's words. So, this is so clear. This should be so clear to you. So people who keep guessing that Sasha's last word is Niccolo instead of a Nico, instead of a meat, you have here the clear explanation that Sasha didn't love Niccolo, while Niccolo could start feeling something for her. Okay, so you have the perfect explanation with that scene.
マーレの公平の力を借りたらすごく早く進むようになってさ。よく協力してくれたね。そりゃ最初はお互い疑心暗鬼でうまくいかなかったよ。でも時間をかけて肩書きを抜きにして人同士向き合えばきっと分かり合える。
アルミン、ベルトルトの記憶は何か見たか？
ああ、いや、役に立ちそうなものは何も。
時間はねえぞ。ジークの寿命はあと3年もね。
そのことなんだけど。
Okay, wait a second. Why, at this point, why did he ask a question like this? I mean, he was asking, did you collect some other info from Bertold? And he said, yeah, but it's not something interesting. Then he's saying Zeke doesn't have lots of time. We just have 3 years left. For what? Yeah, we have 3 years left, so you can reconjunct yourself with him, so you can start the rumbling. But why do you need Bertold's memories? You are the founding titan, so you don't need. You have the Shiso Titan inside you, so you don't need other memories from others, from other owners. Because you are the founding titan.
ママイエレナたちの作戦通りに進めていいのかな。何か問題が。本当に地ならして世界を脅すことでしかエルディア人を守る術はないのかなって。それじゃ本当に世界を恐怖に陥れる悪夢だ。そうなる前に話し合えないのかな。マーレや世界中の人と話し合って誤解を解けば。
誤解？誤解って何のことだよ。
だから僕たちは怖くないって。
世界から見れば俺たちは巨人に化ける怪物だ。そこに誤解はないだろ
う。でも仲良くなれたマーレ人もいる。
何人だ？ほとんどのマーレ兵は収容所の壁を睨みつけてんだろ。
それだって時間をかければ。そう、時間が必要だ。
そうだ。時間を稼ぐためには手出しできねえようにしてやるんだ。
Now look,
本当に僕たちは正しかったのかな。
we will never know.
もしかしたら。
We will never know. When Armin is asking himself, did we make the right choice? We will never know. Because every time we have to ask ourselves, did we make the right choice? But we can't go back in time to change things. So it's better if we don't even ask this question to ourselves. So it's definitely better. But yeah, here you see how Eren wants to move forward no matter what, because that's the will of what he really is. He turned into the Shingeki no Kyojin, and this type of titan doesn't admit to go back or to regret what you do or what you think or what you imagine to do. You just have to move forward no matter the things, no matter the decisions you take, etc., etc. You have to move forward till the end. And I think Eren, he is really coherent at this point. He didn't do anything incoherent till now because he just followed what he is. He's not regretting. Okay, sometimes he feels bad and he feels pain because of the consequences of what he is going to do. But at the same time, he is not changing his point of view. He keeps pushing forward because that's what he is. I find him really coherent, actually. Oh yeah, of course there are many other paths. No, you don't. When he says now, when Armin says, I thought I knew Eren more than anybody else, more than Mikasa also, but I don't know anymore. No, 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 no. This means that Eren is creating a great plan. Because if you knew what he really wanted to do, you would have never agreed with him. And that's why he preferred not to tell you, or he preferred to find a plan, so you developed this thought that you didn't even recognize Eren anymore. But Eren didn't change, actually. Eren is still that best friend who wants to protect you. So I think you will know Eren one more time when we will reach the end and he will be sacrificed. But the reason why he wants to sacrifice himself is because of you. Because he wants to protect you. Because he loves you. So once we will reach the end, Armin, I think you will understand him. You will find that Eren that you have lost now. It's just a matter of time, but by doing this, it means that Eren's plan is amazingly going on in the best way. It means that he is making it, that this plan is succeeding and it's working. Otherwise, it was not a plan. Eren already has a plan in his mind, and the fact that you can't recognize him, it makes you understand that he made it. He's making it. Just when we will reach the end, Armin, don't worry, because at the end you will say, "Okay, I think that I didn't lost. I think that I didn't lose Eren. I just didn't understand him. But Eren is still Eren. You didn't lose anybody, Armin. Don't worry. He is just making his plan. He will be back soon. Don't misunderstand him. I mean, he is still there. Eren didn't go anywhere. The Eren you know is still there. That's what I believe.
すいません、ここは。あれしなく近づけんじゃねえよ。おい、ニコロ。大丈夫か。くそ。なんでだよ。本当にサジャは死んだのか。
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
お前ら何やってたんだよ。飛行船に乗り込んできた子供の二人だって。そんなバカな話があるかよ。ただの女の子じゃない。訓練されていた。選手候補生か。俺の油断があったわ。
Later.
なんで俺に謝る。
Ah.
俺はただ飯を用意してただけだ。
See? Even he is thinking the same thing that I think. That means he also knew that Sasha didn't love him. It's just his feelings, and I can accept it, of course. I admire Niccolo because he went a step forward. He went beyond the prejudices. But from Sasha's point of view, she didn't love him. She was just loving his food. That is totally different. Sasha's love for food is going even beyond her father, okay? So, no.
お前はどうなったよ、コニー。俺とサシャは双子みたいなもんなんだ。
Yeah.
自分が半分なくなっちまったみてえだ。このと
And the great man came. Yes, I love Sasha's dad. I love that. I love that a secondary character like him could become one of the main protagonists of this part one, because what he's saying is so mature, is something that if all people could have been like him, things were totally different. That's why I admire that Isayama took a secondary character like Sasha's dad in this part of the story to show you that not just the main characters can make a difference, but secondary characters or even third characters can tell you some great things. I was totally amazed by this character, and I want to see if he can survive. I hope he will be able to survive the rumbling. I really hope that he will be able to make it, because Sasha's dad will be a great inspiration for future generations. I hope at this point, do you remember last week I was telling you, I was just guessing, will Falco survive? Will Gabi survive? At this point, if Falco survives, automatically even Gabi will survive, because Falco will never betray the promise he made to Reiner. Okay, that means to save Gabi. So if Falco will survive, Gabi will survive too. And I hope at this point that Sasha's dad, if he will survive, and I still hope so, if Sasha's dad is surviving, I hope he will take care of Falco and Gabi. This will be the most amazing thing, because this will make sense. Because Sasha's dad was the only one going against, like, Niccolo, but even if Niccolo later couldn't make it totally, but Sasha's dad is the perfect example of a person who could go beyond all the pain he felt, beyond all the prejudices between Paradise and Marley whatsoever. He was the perfect example for Falco and Gabi. And as much as he took care of Falco and Gabi here in part one, I hope that he will survive. I hope that even Falco and Gabi will survive, and he will take care of them. Because if this can happen, it means that Eren's death was not made in vain. It means that Eren's death could create a great result. That means breaking these stupid rules, breaking these stupid boundaries between nations, aliens here, aliens there. You are devils. No, you're the devils. Blah, 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 blah. If this can survive, it means that Eren's sacrifice meant something. Otherwise, everything was done for nothing. I really hope that Sasha's dad can survive it together with Gabi and Falco, because this will be the real portrait, the pearl, the treasure of the entire story. And this could make the next generations meaningful, because there is an example like this that can go beyond everything. At this point, I really hope that even Kaya survives. So Kaya can become like a older sister for them. And this will be so interesting, because at this point we will see if Gabi really changes, if she can change her mind, thanks to these people who are going to teach her that Everything is possible. It depends if you want it or not. But I think Kaya and Sasha's that are great inspirations for Gabi. So I hope that this tiny and cute portrait can go on. This could be amazing. For real.
俺は捕虜のマーレ人ですが、料理人として就労許可を持っています。
Even from here, you see that Sasha's dad was
うまそうに食べてくれました。
someone amazing, amazing,
よかったら
amazing.
俺の料理を食べに来てください。
Because here, Sasha's dad could have said, "No, I don't care about your cooking style and whatsoever. My daughter is dead." Blah blah blah. No, he from now on he's giving the best example of what a mature person should behave. He said, "Thank you. I'm thanking you because you're inviting me." This is another kind of a person, so I hope he will survive. I hope he will.
もちろんただなんやろ。
Ah, that's amazing. This is something beyond, something incredible.
戦勝と報じたわけだ。恐ろしいね。
And now, and here when Zika is saying, isn't ignorance a scary thing? At this point, yes, ignorance is one of the scariest things ever. People who are ignorant, people who can't go beyond things, yeah, are scary because if they follow what they are told, yeah, it's scary. At this point, Zeke is saying indirectly that even aliens living in Marley, they are ignorant. That means they are scary. Yeah, they are, because they were always convinced about things that were invented. But they turned scary because they were ready to kill other people because of what they have heard, not because of what they have actually seen. And this is scary. Plus, yeah, when Zika is saying right now things like this, it makes you understand that, well, what we discover later, I mean, his real plan, oh yeah, ignorance is really scary. Zika, absolutely. Absolutely.
お前を殺して死体をマーレに送りつけ、陰謀を明るみに出す。
No, Levi, in this case, Levi, dear Levi, in this case, you were tricked by Zeke because even if you think that you know his little plan, no, you don't know his actual plan. So, sorry to say, even if I love you, but this time, Levi, you were also tricked.
お前の言う秘策とやらが本物なら、切り刻むのを少し待ってもいい。俺はどちらでも構わない。
寛大なお言葉に感謝いたします。だが、俺をエレンと合わせるのが先だろ。
そう急ぐな。お前に最上級のホテルを用意したんだ。まずはそこでゆっくり休んでいただこう。
And even here, let me say it, even here, Levi is so sure that he's going to bring Zeke over there in the forest and he can look at him and he can let other common people survive because he imagines that Zeke has other plans, but he doesn't know his real plan, okay? But at the same time, Levi, you don't even know. I mean, by doing something like this, you automatically condemned your comrades. And I understand Levi's point of view when he feels that every time he's condemning his comrades. Look at even season 1 when he was followed by these 4 members he didn't even imagine that they could die in the forest, in the giant forest. If he only knew, but that's a leitmotif of our life, even in real life. We do things, but sometimes we don't even imagine that that thing we are doing can cause other bad things, and only once we experience these things later we are going to think, oh, if I only knew what was about to happen, maybe I would have not done it. Yeah, of course, all of us are thinking this. If we could avoid bad reactions or bad consequences to our life, we would have liked to avoid them, of course. But we don't know until we live things. And this is what's happening to Levi's entire life, actually, since the moment in which he joined the Chosahedan, and he was taken away from the underground by Erwin and all the others. I mean, all the other members of Chosahedan. Since that moment, he realized, look, now I don't know if what I'm doing is something good or something bad, because every time that I'm making a choice, I see my comrades dying. So my choices are good, my choices are bad. Was it better to choose something else? Was it better to be more cautious? We will never know until we experience it. But Levi's existence was always made of these moments. Since we know Levi, this is what happened. So even in this case, when he's taking Zeke to the giant forest, even that thing of the tea and the wine, at that moment, he should have imposed himself more by saying, no, guys, today we will drink a tea. But see, even for small things like this, choosing between tea and wine can make a difference, and the plot can change totally.
睨むのやめてくれないか。
マーレから奪ってきた巨人化の薬はこれで全てです。しかし、複製は困難でしょう。
いや、これだけあれば十分であろう。
I don't think so.
感謝を申し上げればよい。
No, Pixies, no.
借りしかない。無知な我々を希望へ。
No. When he's saying here, we were ignorant, but now you gave us a hope. I don't think so, because look what's happening later. Even if I love Pixies, huh? I really love him because later, anyway, he's getting this. I mean, he understands.
残念です。私たちが持ち込んだこの銃はエルディア人に自由をもたらす銃。
Nah, freedom doesn't exist in that world. That's why when Yelena now he's saying we gave you these weapons so Eldians living in paradise can be free. No, I don't think so. There's no freedom in this world. I mean, in the world of Shingeki no Kyojin, there's not freedom at all. And that's why I think that when Eren is looking in this melancholically way at his friends in season 3 part 2, and he's saying we wanted to reach freedom, but then we understand that the real enemy is after the ocean. Yeah, I think that in that moment he saw a tunnel that was never ending. I mean, usually when you go inside a tunnel, you are struggling because you're surrounded by darkness, but then you see the end of the tunnel and you see the light, right? I think Eren in season 3 part 2, when he reached the Umi, when he reached the ocean, he saw darkness once again. And in fact, he was saying that after hell, he saw another hell. Yeah, a never-ending tunnel from which you can't find freedom. You can't find happiness. You can't find all these great purposes or great goals. And that's why, as much as I was telling you 2 weeks ago, I think that at this point, from Eren's point of view, of course, not from my point of view, but from Eren's point of view, the sacrifice, the will to end his life will be the only way to reach freedom. Because after that moment, nothing bad can happen to him anymore, as much as for what it happened through his entire existence. So, should we consider that step freedom? Yeah, it could be from Eren's point of view, but of course, when you decided to end your life, is this a freedom for real? Yeah, from some point of view, you decided. That means you were free to decide your existence. But at the same time, I don't know. Because anyway, you leave a pain in other people's lives. So I don't think it means real freedom. It depends. Some people, okay, this is just something extraordinary that I'm saying, but some people believe that when you decided to end your life, there are people who believe in spirits. There are people who believe in energy, this energy that is still stuck in this dimension, and it can't go beyond because of what happened, because of the will to end your life. So, is this freedom for real? Let's see how this part 2 will end, but I don't know. Anyway, what Yelena is saying here is totally wrong, because in the world of Shingeki no Kyojin, as we know it, there's not a freedom. Not at all.
ジグに風をかけるわけにはいかんのだ。
構いませんよ、ピクシス氏。すぐにまた我々と食卓を囲む日が来ますから。
Yeah, unfortunately. And we will, when they will sit and they will eat dinner again, it will be when Yelena will take over, because finally Zeke's plan will be revealed and the Pixies will be tricked somehow by them, because nobody knew what was behind everything that Zeke was choosing to do, etc., etc. So, yeah, Zeke was a step forward, but I don't think it will last long, because Eren is a step forward. I think Zeke is underestimating Eren a little bit. I think that he thinks, okay, I am telling Eren my plan and he is agreeing with me. Yeah. But no, I don't think so. If Eren agreed with Zeke's plan, even he had to kill even his best friends. Everyone should have been erased as aliens, of course. And that's why it makes you understand that Eren doesn't agree with Zeke. This is what I believe. This is impossible. I don't think Eren is doing everything that he's doing to go against his friends. Totally the contrary. So Zeke shouldn't underestimate his younger brother, because I think Eren is a step forward.
これ何か不満でもあるのか。巨大児の声で。これ以上お前にふさわしい宿はねえよ。
立体軌道でたくさん遊べそうだしな。なあ、リヴァイ兵長。ガビとファルコにもこの雄大な自然を見せてやりたいんだが。
ガキが雄大な自然を拝めるかどうかはお前次第だ。
Oh, Gabi, let me tell you one thing. Gabi, if you survive, as much as I believe, or as much as I hope so at this point, you should thank Eren. Now you hate him, but I think that if you survive, you will thank Eren.
エレンに協力して
Because Eren, thanks to that attack he made to Liberio, he helped you to go out from a cage of prejudices, brainwashed things, and all these things. So you should thank Eren at the end of this story if you survive, because if you survive, he changed your life for good. Because if I imagine that is happening what I told you a few minutes ago, if you are going to stay next to Sasha's dad, Eren changed and saved your life. So you should say thank you to him.
見放しても最悪の選択になっただろう。とにかく大勢の人間を殺した。
Yeah,
戦艦も軍人も民間人も全てを
yes.
巻き込んで突然全てを奪った。でもあの軍港が健在だったらすぐさまマーレ軍はこの島に報復攻撃しただろう。僕の道は断たれた。けどやるしかなかった。あの日の君たちのように。ねえ、ハニー、何か答えてよ。
She will say it later when she will be released. Don't worry.
勝てなきゃ死ぬ。
Hmm.
勝てば生きる。
戦わなければ勝てない。戦え。戦え。
Okay. That's it. Yeah, as I told you in this episode, yeah, I wanted to explore more about these characters. Yeah, I think this was a great episode too. And I know that many people throughout the part one felt bored, but I don't think so. I think totally the opposite. I was not feeling bored at all. I was feeling amazed because we could see how it went. It was really proper to put this part too, because we could understand what happened. Otherwise, if we just fight without understanding, it's pointless, and I would have not liked it. I preferred something like this. And even if this part one is a little bit calmer than usual, I think it was necessary and essential for us to understand all these plot twists one after the other one, to understand that we were convinced about something and literally everything turned upside down 2 or 3 episodes later. This was awesome. And yeah, I really like Isayama's style because even in this episode, Zik was already anticipating that the plan was something else. Ignorance is scary. And by putting that sentence, Isayama was already anticipating that the real plan of Zico was something else. So this is a masterpiece just because of this. I definitely like his style because nothing is taken for granted, and this is why this story is simply great. Because until you reach the end, you don't know, you don't get what's going on. But yeah, okay, let's see if what I told you about Gabi and Falco and Sasha's dad will be true. I hope so. I really hope so. I think Gabi and Falco need to survive. I mean, I prefer Falco, of course, but if a Falco can take Gabi with him. And if Gabi can change, if Gabi can stay with Sasha's dad, because he would be the only one to take care of her in the best way, because he is the one who accepted his daughter's death because of all the reasons he explained when he made that metaphor of the forest. It's coherent. And I think he will be the best person to be there for them. So, yeah, let's see. Let's see if what I guessed is right or wrong. Let's hope so at this point, because I don't want Falco to die. And as a consequence, if Falco doesn't die, even Gabi doesn't die. This is for sure. And Falco, he's another one who wants to move forward with his intentions, with his decisions. He promised to Reiner not to do something bad to Gabi or to protect Gabi for the future. So I think they will survive. Let's see. Okay, guys, I think for this live streaming, that is it. See you next Tuesday once again with episode 10 to rewatch it and to see if I can guess something else or if I can catch other moments that were important, because now that I saw the entire part one, I can say, well, look at that moment, he was saying something like this, but then it revealed to be something else or totally the opposite or something coherent. Okay, see you next Tuesday. In the meantime, feel free to subscribe to the channel and of course join the other adventures on the channel. Thank you so much for the support, and bye guys. See you next time. Bye. Bye-bye. See you. Bye.